All right. We have with us, retired out of Atlanta. We got Todd Edwards with us. Todd, first of all, thank you for joining us. And I'm looking to find from the guys that are around here, what, in your opinion, is the value in any kind of outside training, whether it be small conferences, big conferences, fools events, essentially just getting out of your bubble.
I think yeah, it was interesting to have this question posed because we have conversations all the time about outside training and I was very fortunate and blessed that my father was my first fire chief and at a very young age. And my first outside training, which was really strange, was FDIC.
Right out the
And this
gates.
one FDIC was in Cincinnati, so I'm kind of aging myself a little bit. But to go to that kind of event with your dad, and literally, I didn't even know I didn't know anything about. I'd heard of it, and everybody talked about it. I didn't know anything about it, but that immediate exposure to that, that outside influences here, and I was in that bubble. I was in my four walls of my, combination department at a very young age. And I thought we knew everything and we did everything right. And then I was immediately exposed going, wow, we don't know a lot of stuff. And that was one of the reasons he wanted me, to his credit, wanted me to be exposed to other pins. And I literally have carried it through my entire life and career. And I want those exposures. One of my favorite things is to hear. I'm not a big war story guy, but I love hearing other guys' war stories. I love hearing the two-station fire department that made two grabs last month, war stories. And it's just those outside things that you get going to, big conferences, small conferences, all the way around. And as time has obviously progressed, on the instructor side of that, and this was at I think we had a 40, 50 person event I was teaching at, and I was doing a program I do on working and rescuing and saving people with cognitive disabilities, and a lot of focus on Down syndrome and autism. The class went on about probably 4 days after the program. I got home and I got an email, and two of the guys that were in the class had a grab of an autistic kid 2 days after that class, and they said they really keyed in because they were told the child was autistic, and they immediately keyed in because the parents said he hides, and they didn't look under the bed. They knew to look in other places from some of the training we do, and found him buried in the back of the closet, hiding in the corner.
That's
So I
unbelievable.
thought that was that's those outside things, the influences you can have, and you don't even have to be teaching and how you can influence. I love hearing students' ideas and opinions, and we open up every hands-on with this is not my class, it's our class, and it's really cool to have that experience to hear guys and how much we learn, and every time we're teaching, but we're learning at the same time. So our learning experience at big and small conferences is so cool, and you just can't get that in your own station. Sometimes it's great to hear and meet and talk to all these other guys, and just what you can learn from them.
You must have pulled that from Ike, because when I asked Ike yesterday, I told Ike yesterday, I was like, "Hey, it was your conference that really opened my eyes." And he goes, "Not my conference, it's our conference." So
Yeah,
I don't know if there's some crossover there,
yeah,
but
I
it
think he
was
stole that from me. So
yes,
he steals everything from me.
exactly,
But yeah,
exactly.
it's just something that we feel very strongly about. That I mean, it's what a value it is to be able to hear what other guys are doing, though, and you just can't get that if you're just sitting inside your little forest station or just looking at Facebook.
Yeah,
You get so much more with the one-on-ones, the face-to-face interactions. The good, the bad, the indifferent. It's just such a unique thing to get outside those, the four walls, get outside that bubble.
you mentioned something that I wanted you to touch on real quick. You said one of the more important things was networking. Do you want to kind of touch on that real quick?
Yeah, and one of the things I tell students a lot of times, especially at the bigger conferences, because 4 or 5 guys will travel together and they just kind of roam the conference the whole week in their little pack. And I'm always telling them, hey guys, go over there and talk to that guy, or go talk to others. So when I'm overseeing a hands-on program, I don't want to split them up on purpose, but I like them to be a little bit apart and bring different things and get different ideas. But it's such a value, and all I think was very unique. What I think some guys are intimidated or they don't understand this. The biggest names in the fire service will hand you their personal phone numbers, their email addresses, and they want you to contact them. The Ray McCormicks, the Mike Champos, the Steve Robertsons, the Clyde Gordons. They want you to contact them. They don't have any issue about you shooting them an email and asking a question. But again, you give it a conference. Sometimes they stay in their bubble, and when you can get them outside that bubble and they start interacting, with big city guys, small town guys, it's so cool to watch those guys really get into it after that.
Awesome. Unbelievable answer. I can expand on that, but I'm not. I'm going to keep it tight. I know you got to go do some hot classes, get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, we're getting ready for tomorrow.
So I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
And we'll see you around.
Yeah, and thank you for finally introducing us to your wife. All right, bro.